The second full house of the week at Highbury, and the next 3 home games are also sold out. The league leaders must be wishing they had a bigger stadium. Who would have thought when the Premiership started that the big clubs would be turning people away? It's just the ticket for those who can get in, and the fact that the price against Arsenal for the Championship has come in recently from 10-1 to 7-2 just reflects that we could be watching the most exciting title race for years. Well, the defenders in Arsenal's unchanged team know all about winning championships. 5 of the back 6 were medal winners here in 1989. The average age of that section of the team is over 33. The 3 injured absentees, Seaman, Keown and Bergkamp, should all be fit when Arsenal play again in 2 weeks' time. Talking of veterans, Derby's Paul McGrath, the oldest man on the field today, was 37 on Wednesday. Manager of the month, Jim Smith, welcomes back Chris Powell on the left side of his defence and hopes that the creative Croatian Asanovic can pit his wits successfully against Arsenal's Vieira. Arsene Wenger takes his seat and his team sit proudly on top of the league. Referee Martin Boddenham will be reporting Derby for handing in their team sheet 15 minutes late. It took the Derby coach nearly 2 hours to get from St Albans to Highbury. And we'll see if they've pulled themselves together, because this is Ward, and here's Chris Powell. What they won't want is a slow start, because Derby are very much outsiders here. The odds against them winning this match 11-2. Steemats has joined the attack on this side. Ashley Ward. Oh, good turn by Sturridge. That was fine football. It's really come to the fore in the last 18 months, Dean Sturridge. 20 league goals last season when Derby won promotion. A bit of ball juggling by Winterburn didn't quite work, and he's conceded a corner. This is Sturridge, and it's back with Lawson. Steemat still in there, bold with the clearance. Good turn by Ward, good effort. Oh, he's hit the bar, and Sturridge comes in for the rebound. The whistle's gone. Flag up on the far side for offside at some stage. Ward holds his head because it was his shot that ricocheted off the bar, but 2 Derby players, I think, collided heads here in going for the rebound. There's the shot, away from Lukic, off the bar, doesn't cross the line. Now watch the 2 Derby players go in. It's Darryl Powell and Sturridge, and there's a nasty collision as both went for the same ball. And Jim Smith and Lionel Pickering, the owner of Derby County, in the glasses there, they must have thought, well, a whisker away from taking the lead, and they certainly were. Well, there's blood around here. I don't know whether that'll mean stitches or treatment off the field for Darryl Powell. Now, Merson. Cross. Oh, Ian Wright nearly. Then Vieira. Merson not quite. Appeals for hands against Hartson, whose shot is fielded anyway by Holt. Referee Boddenham pointed firmly to his chest there, denoting that Hartson didn't handle the ball. It's Patrick Vieira who gets the header in first. It goes under Merson's foot, and well, hands was not given. Now Asanovic hasn't seen much of the ball, really, by his standards, but midfield's been bypassed a little bit. He's also got to be mindful of doing defensive work when Platt or Vieira get the ball, and that's really been a very even contest in the first half. The midfield here possibly explains why we've only seen one moment of real drama from Ashley Ward. And there's Ward again, and here comes Sturridge, little flick. Oh, it was a nice idea. Didn't really have time to control it, so he tried to just loft it round Linnigan and over Lukic. And Ward was the supplier, but it was a good enough effort from Sturridge. Ian Wright, Winterburn backing up, 4 in the middle for Arsenal here. Winterburn! That's the best effort of the half from Arsenal, and it comes from a wing-back. Corner to Arsenal. Bold in the near post area. Here comes Adams. They're going to stay in there now. Oh, Adams came round the back, and Arsenal have taken the lead, and it's the captain right on half-time. What a very good position he found, and how well directed was the header from Tony Adams. Paul Merson is out on the left there with a very, very good cross. Righted it perfectly. The Derby defenders are standing watching this, because here comes Adams. He's crept round the back. Nobody marked him. Russell Holt couldn't have got the right hand to that. And in the last minute of the first half, Tony Adams puts his side in front. Well, the half ends with the crowd singing the old ditty, 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's courtesy of Tony Adams, but Derby go off, no doubt thinking it could easily have been 1-0 to them. Ashley Ward hit the bar, and for the most part, Derby looked more dangerous than the league leaders. But all that was history when Adams got free in the box. It's nearly a year since Arsenal lost here at Highbury in the Premiership. That was to Everton last January. They've only lost 2 Premiership matches this season, and those were on the grounds of Liverpool and Manchester United. Certainly unlucky in the latter of those games, as I recall. Here they are, 1-0 up against Derby. John Hartson. Lee Dixon's up again. Just think the influence of Arsene Wenger is reflected in how often now the Dixons and the Adamses and the Bolds get into the attack, and how much more risk they seem to take. It's good first-time stuff. This is Merson, but he had 2 players to go across, and he did indeed beat both Darryl Powell and Asanovic. This is Hartson. He's got 2 up against him as well. And the Arsenal man again comes out on top. Assistant referee was flagging there's an argument between Martin Bodnam, the referee, and Sean Flynn. But the verdict will be the same. So is Steemat's little concerned about it. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Now Steve Bold has taken up the Adams position this time. They'll have to get the marking sorted out, Derby. Hartson is coming in. Oh, and so is Bold, and it went over the head of David Platt, and this is Ian Wright. Blocked by Darryl Powell. Wright again. Merson. Lofted cross, header by Platt. And Derby might prove themselves a little fortunate in there. Steve Bold nearly made the second ball. You watch Hartson from a difficult angle here, head that back across the goal. Steve Bold, actually it was a good clearance, and Derby defended stoutly there. Vieira, nodded back again by Linnigan. Steve Bold stays up. Now has to try and get back, because this is Derby on the attack with Flynn. Into Ward. Turned against Adams, found Sturridge. Darryl Powell comes up far side. And it might run on here for Steemat's. Lively attack this by Derby. It was Sturridge who pulled it back. And Steemat's who came thundering through, but a wayward effort. And Jim Smith knows this is going to be an uphill battle now for Derby. Powell. Sturridge at the back. Needs help. Oh, Ward! Just came at him so quick, and he was very close to Sturridge. Couldn't direct it, really. Offside flag goes up. Derby take the free kick quickly. Flynn. Driven ball out towards Sturridge. Collected that very well. Came inside brilliantly. Oh, I say, what a goal! That's a fantastic goal by Sturridge. He runs across to the Derby fans, and they'll be looking at that one on the videos over and over again. Dean Sturridge for Derby, out of practically nowhere, has scored a spectacular equaliser. Well, he made it himself, no question about that. His collection of the ball initially was very clever. He went cleanly past Adams, struck it on the move, and it thumped against the bar and came down over the line. Well, Sturridge may only have scored 5 now this season, but he is Derby's leading scorer, and that must be the best of them. The last game here before Christmas for Arsenal. That's Hartson to Dixon. And again. Tony Adams moves forward to help. And it's Hartson again, 3 in the middle. Adams. Platt. Merson's in there. Good stop by Russell Holt. Here's Tony Adams setting up David Platt, and then at the feet of Paul Merson, some compact goalkeeping by Russell Holt. We're over halfway through the second half. This is Paul Merson for Arsenal. Hartson was there. No mean effort by the Welshman. Linking up well with Merson there, Hartson. Still only 21, and a lot of football in front of him. Expensive signing as a teenager from Luton Town. Oh, well played by Asanovic. He's found Ward. Powell. Oh, Sturridge again, saved by Lukic, and driven in. Powell. Darryl Powell. And Derby are in front. What a turnaround at Highbury. It's Chris Powell who gets the first cross in. Sturridge, the near post header. Lukic, left hand, can only parry it out, and Darryl Powell smashes it back in the net. And Derby County have come from a goal behind here to snatch the lead against the league leaders. Sturridge was lively again there, taking on Steve Bold and Vieira. Look at this. And they've got a spare man, Derby County here. It's Ward. And if he could have just edged that on to Darryl Powell, he would have been in for a... He's just acknowledging that, Ashley Ward, because Derby had a man spare, and Ward knows that could so easily, for Darryl Powell, have been the third goal. Flynn. Oh, Lawson. They've got to give him a second chance of that they should never have had. This is Flynn. Well picked out by Lukic. He finds Paul Shaw. And this is David Platt. Arsenal need to find fresh momentum here. This is Winterburn. Adams joins the attack in the centre. Right comes short. Dummy for Hartson. Pass back to right, not quite strong enough. Nearly. And every time Arsenal's attack breaks down now, Derby seem to have a spare man. This is Sturridge. He's inside now. He's got Darryl Powell in a good position, but it's still Sturridge. And an even better position was Ashley Ward. And Derby again have really passed up a chance to go 3-1 there. This is Merson. If I was Jim Smith at the moment, I'd be thinking that despite being 2-1 up, Derby should really have sewn the game up in the last few minutes. They've had two very good breaks where Arsenal have been outnumbered, but Sturridge and company unable perhaps to play the final ball correctly. Derby have just got to keep their nerve here. This is Shaw. Oh, and Platt's in the middle and Wright's there as well, and Platt! The flag's up. The flag's up on the far side. I don't think it's going to count for Arsenal. The assistant referee on the far side was flagging Grant Hegley, and there was somebody offside in there. It's Shaw who plays the ball in. Now that it's Ian Wright, I think, who made the first contact before Platt put it in the net. I think it was Wright who was offside. And just for a split second, what the Arsenal fans thought was the second goal, which would have made it 2-2, and instead it's still 2-1. And it's going to be a substitution for Derby as Sanovic is going off. Christian Daly, another midfield player coming on. So a real let-off there for Derby. This is Merson. Just got that across to Lee Dixon. There's Bold. Here's Merson. Vieira. Hodgson! And it still wouldn't go for Arsenal. Well, we're in the 90th minute. It's a storming finish to this game. Bold in the near post area. Platt goes in just behind him. And again, those white-shirted defenders rise heroically in front of Bold and behind him. This is Merson. And it's Adams. And Vieira! 2-2 this time. Patrick Vieira. His first goal for Arsenal. The Frenchman. And what a time for it to come. It was right on 90 minutes when this happened. Tony Adams, a brilliant cutback from the line. And it comes out for Vieira to strike for a crowd of players. Whether it gets a touch as John Hartson falls in with the defenders, I'm not entirely sure. It's 2-2 and Arsenal would appear to have saved a point in the nick of time here. But Derby haven't given up yet, it's Ward. Here they come again, the league leaders. Well, they still will be if they draw. Here's Merson. And here's Wright. Oh, he's got a chance, and he's missed it. Derby have got everybody back, and the whistle blow. What a cracking finish here. It's 2-2, and you've got to say honour is satisfied all round. Patrick Vieira saves a point for the league leaders in the 90th minute. Adams, the never say die spirit, really telling at the end of each half for Arsenal, the captain. He's scored one and made one. But in between, Derby County just proving their Premiership capabilities and credibility. Congratulations for Sturridge, who scored one of their goals and made the other from Ian Wright. And there's no question here that Derby mean business in this top division. It's Arsenal 2, Derby County 2.